Okay, so now let's go back to the factoring tree method, but with two different numbers, just to make sure that we've solidified how the method works. So I'm going to go back to my green. Now with 12, again, I'm going to start off with 1 times 12, are both factors for 12. Now for 12, remember in this method I'm trying to break it down into smallest parts. So I know that I can break up 12 into, I can divide it by 2 and get 6 equal parts. And what I like to do in this method is I always like to put my least factor on the left side so that I can look at the left side of my tree to find all of my factors. So for 6, I know it's 2 times 3, so I'm going to put 2 because that's the smaller number between 2 and 3. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 2, and 3. Those are all factors of 12. Now for 24. I know that 24 is the first two factors I need to write are 1 and 24. And then I'm going to divide it up by 2, and I get 2 and 12. Notice I didn't put 12 and 2. I put 2 and 12 just because I like to put the least numbers on the left. And then for 12 and 2, now I just repeat what's happening over here on this side. From 12, I got 2 and 6. From 6, I got 2 and 3. And now I can look at my left side for all of my prime factors. So that's looking at 1, 2, 2, whoops, darn it, let me just rewind that. 2, 3. Here I'm looking at 1, 2, 2, 2, and 3. And now what I need to do is check off all the ones that are in common. So 1 is in common with 1, which will always be the case with any two sets of numbers. 2 is in common with that 2. This 2 is in common with that 2. This 3 is in common with that 3. So the only number here that's not checked is 2, and all the numbers here are checked. Which means that if I multiply all these numbers, I already automatically know it's going to multiply to equal 12. So 12 is what 1 times 2 times 2 times 3 is. Over here, I already know that as well. It's going to be 12. 1 times 2 times 2 times 3 is going to be 12. So my greatest common factor is 12. Now, what's interesting about this particular about these two numbers is that it just so happens that 12 was one of my original numbers. 12 is the greatest common factor between 12 and 24. 12 can be divided by 12, and so can 24. It can be divided by 12. So one of the two numbers that I originally started with is the greatest common factor. Alright, so let's use the list method with these same two numbers. Yes, we know what the answer will be. It will be 12, but let's just show how the list method will get us to 12. So if I start off with, let's do green, 12, two numbers I can multiply to equal 12 are 1 and 12. I'm going to go then to 2. 2 times what equals 12? 2 times 6. Now I'm going to go to 3. 3 times 4 equals 12. Now I'm going to go to 4. 4 times 3 equals 12, but just as I did not write it before, this time I did write it because 4 times 3 is the same thing as 3 times 4. I'm just going to cross it off. I don't need to write that one twice. How about 5? Can 12 be divided by 5? No. 6? Yes. So 6 times 2 equals 12, but that is a repeat of 2 times 6. So I'll cross that off. And there are no other numbers I can write here that I can multiply to equal 12. I have 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4. Those are all the factors. Do the same thing with 24. I can write 1 times 24 to start off with. Now let's go to the 2. 2 times 12 equals 24. Let's go to 3. 3 times 8 equals 24. 4 times 6 equals 24. And 5, I can't divide 24 by 5. 6, well, if I get 6 times 4, I get 24, but that's a repeat of 4 times 6. So I'm going to cross that off. 7, can't divide 24 divided by 7. 8, yes, 24 divided by 8 is 8 times, is 8. 24 divided by 8 is 3, so 8 times 3 is 24. But, again, that's a repeat of 3 times 8. So you have to be careful and watch for what I'm repeating. So that's not going to work for me. And then, let's see, 9, no, can't divide 24 by 9, 10, 11, 12, yes, I can divide 24 by 12, but I would just get 12 times 2, which is the same thing as 2 times 12. So I can't write any more. These are all of the possibilities. So now again, I have a list of all of the factors just by writing out the multiplication facts for each number. So I need to look of all of these factors, 1, 12, 2, 6, 3, 4, and then also over here, 1, 24, 2, 12, 3, 8, 4, 6, which number is the greatest common factor? And again, 12 and 12 is in common on both sides, and it happens to be the greatest common. Over here I have 24 as a factor, but it's not in common. Or on this side, I don't even have a 24 listed for 12. So 12 would be the next greatest number that's in common on both sides.